Hello and welcome to Jam Lemon Reviews. My name is Rob Equiza. Today we're going to be talking about Anarka Akaza's 2023 album F-. Anarka Akaza is an American noise rock artist who's released a bunch of albums in the past several years. He also runs his own record label called ND Produkt. I personally know him, having met him through one of my friends, Jimmy of Aquatufana. In fact, we've met and collaborated on the B-side track for my single Zealots, which is called Smorlboro. And he's just recently released a beats-filled instrumental album called The Shabu Shabu Slurp under my record label, Jam Lemon Records. Anarka is an awesome dude, full of vibrance and radiant energy, his mind never running out of ideas, a thing that we have in common. F- is a 14-track album in the noise rock and experimental genre. Anarka Akaza's music is not the conventional type of music that you'd probably imagine. This is not the usual structured, tempo-based songs with bars and counts. Instead, it relies on whatever it is he can think of putting in. Sometimes he'd use the cut-up technique, meaning using snippets of music or speech from films and shows and lay it down on there. Sometimes he'd use recordings of natural conversations between people as well. And to glue them all, he'd often layer it with weird sounds utilizing different instruments, whether digital or organic. See, this is exactly coloring outside the lines. Upon seeing the album cover of F-, you'd instantly get the vibe of its underground, I don't give a fuck appeal. It's a shot of a TV set with American TV show host Johnny Carson gracing the screen with the subtitles, I hope so, then laughter, assuming from the audience. From that image itself, the artist sort of reveals his uncertainty of his listener's reaction, yet pushes his artistic expression nonetheless, showing courage that not many people possess. Before getting into the tracks, you'll have to understand that F- is a direct sequel to Anarka Akaza's 2020 album Fakeality. There are a few references here and we'll get into that later, but the reason why I mentioned Fakeality this early is because on the first track of that 2020 album, there's a line on there in the middle part that beautifully explains how he makes music. Now you'll have to check out that track to understand what I'm saying. So F- starts with a track called Sincerest Condolences. One reference to Fakeality is that started with a track called Thankful Condolences. Now, while Thankful Condolences is already an ominous album intro, it is quite subdued compared to Sincerest Condolences here on F-. It feels like the artist has gained more confidence, in fact, to the point that he mocks serious musicians. And to that I say, fuck yeah. Second track, Gooch Police, is the sound of tuning your radio, but instead of stations, you just hear different conversations from different people. This kind of stuff is what drew me to Radiohead in their Kid A and Amnesiac experimental era. Third track, Ad Nakulaw, is Anarka playing random piano melodies, which I'd say would be an early icebreaker for the album, proving that the guy can play. He's not just about some random sonic stuff, he can also play. Fourth track, Buffalo Lawrence, sees him rapping, probably on the spot, I think it is on the spot, about random stuff including politics and vaccines. And I like the title because it's a portmanteau of the two cities that he's lived in, Buffalo, Texas and Lawrence, Kansas. Fifth track, Spank Your Taco, is a slow precursor to the sixth track, China Vagina, that just goes crazy all over. It goes without saying, both tracks are in the adult category. Seventh track, Homo Sapien Speech, a reference to Fakeality track called Homo Sapien Speech, are recorded conversations between him and his friends. Same thing as the track on Fakeality. Eighth track, Dog Wog, is a quick cerebral pounding with sounds of drones and dogs. Ninth track, Gatas Dos Intoleranza, is another conversation with his friends, but this time about his milk intolerance. 10th track, Dude with a Mood, finds the artist happily singing a tune with his friends. The content, like the 5th and 6th track, is quite in the adult category as well, but surprisingly has no porn sounds, unlike in Fatality. So if you're wondering if you can play F- on speakers while there are kids around, yes, maybe. 11th track, Onion Kiss, is the telling of a story on burgers without onions, laid on a steady groovy beat. It is told by one of Anarka Akaza's friends. It's a welcome voice on there as well. 12th track is Adios. Great wordplay on adios, which is the Spanish of goodbye, and adios, which in Filipino is oh God. And of course it tackles religion, mocking those fanatics who brands anyone unlike them as sinners instantly. This track is the most sections and is the longest one on the album, running at 4 minutes and 14 seconds. The average track length on the album is about 1 minute, and there's 3 songs here that are about 3 minutes long. 13th track, Brain Jam, is a beat-filled ditty that makes you want more. I wish this was longer. I like it. 14th track, Selbstmordtraum, I hope I said that right, is the closing track, and it is an AI speech over a creepy piano melody. The melody isn't really that creepy, but because the AI voice is of a little girl, it makes the piano melody a little haunting, and I like it. Now, the content on the lyrics is of hopelessness after a period of angst. At least that's how I see it. Overall, F- is an amalgamation of different types of sonic experimentation, as most of Anarka Akaza's albums are. I see it as a collage of interesting bits and pieces, like life itself. However random the parts are, when you look back from afar, you see the beauty of it all. It's pretty awesome how he can come up with a variety of visions and how prolific he is. As a musician myself, I get tired every now and then of listening to proper music. Now this is what gives me balance, the avant-garde stuff. I love how crazy and unhinged Anarka Akaza gets and still be enjoyable. How it makes me feel is like watching a foreign experimental film, or maybe like late night 90s TV while you're really drowsy. It also lets you have a peek into the artist's life and lets you join in on the ride. So for F-, I'm giving it an A+. Kudos to Anarka Akaza. Be sure to follow him on his YouTube channel as well as on all major streaming services. Go listen to all of his albums. This has been Rob Equiza for Jam 11 Reviews. Adios.